presentation in stage 28 will begin in just a few moments. But before we begin, here are a few reminders. For the comfort and safety of those around you, remain seated during the presentation, keeping your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the theater. And please, supervise your children.
Permanecer sentados, por
favor. But we ask that you treat our theater as you would your own living room. On second thought, please deposit all trash in the waste cans. Now, as a courtesy to our presenters and everyone else in the theater, refrain from flash photography and turn off or silence your cell phones. Also, we ask that there be no texting during the presentation. The texting lamp is out. And now, stage 28 at Walt Disney Imagineering are pleased to present Imagineering's Guide to Creativity and Innovation. Please welcome Josh Gordon, Scott Gray, Jody McLaughlin, Owen Yoshino, Mark Sumner, Susan Dane, Dex Tanksley, Kim Irvine, Kevin Rafferty, and your host, Disney and Imagineering legend, Marty Sklar.
Wonderful panel. We've done it 6 or 7 times, and I get goosebumps every time I listen to the stories. So there's so much talent and background here, and a bit of youth, a lot of experience, diverse backgrounds, male and female, and it really represents what I think I said at the last presentation, what John Dench used to say, it's not an I business, it's a we business, and we all work at this together. And today I thought we'd start with a video. And the video is produced by the California Tourism Board to promote our state by featuring short videos, short documentaries of Californians with cool jobs. So guess who one of the coolies was? Our own Kevin Rafferty. So there were 5 others individually showcased in this Live Like the California campaign, including Betty White. We couldn't get Betty, well, we got Kevin. Each video was featured for a week, starting the first week of June, and each involved a contest with a prize related to the Californian featured. The winner of Kevin's video contest is a family from Utah, and they won a trip to Disneyland and will be flown out in January. Kevin tells me that after this campaign ended in July, the video found a new life on YouTube, and many Imagineers, Josh Gorin included, have sent him notes saying that it inspired them to do a better job. Kevin's question back to Josh was, why weren't you doing a better job anyway? So, here's Mr. Cool.
One night, I was out on the patio setting up chairs at the Plaza Inn as the park was closing, and I heard a voice coming by as I was setting up the chairs, and it was an elderly woman in a wheelchair being pushed by her granddaughter, and she said, "This was the greatest day of my life." And I thought, wow, this place has enough magic to make the greatest day of this person's life, and I wanted to be a part of that. Imagineer is a combination of 2 words, imagination and engineer. You know, it's about physically creating that thing, that object, that technology, that ride system, that show set. It's about creating the physical world. Our experiences are dimensional, and so every element that goes into an attraction is part of that orchestration that makes the music of that experience. And so you have lighting cues and sound cues and sets. But when you're strapped in a seat, you're not thinking about the technology, you are flying. You got wind in your face. You're flying over orange trees and you're smelling the oranges. It's real. Some days I'm doing research. I'm on a plane heading somewhere to learn about something. Some days I'm in brainstorming sessions where we're kicking around crazy ideas just for the sake that they're fun. Wouldn't this be fun? Around here we spend a lot of time saying, what if? What if we did this? Or what if we could go there? What if we could immerse our guests into this experience? You think about the impossible. You think about, wow, if we could do this, what would it be?
And now, Walt Disney will step forward to read the dedication of Disneyland.
I think people like Walt Disney were a great example of dreamers and risk takers that came to California to do something different, to innovate, and there's just something about it that draws people here. He began with Mickey and the first sound cartoon, and he was always interested in the next way to tell his next story. His first Imagineers were filmmakers, and he brought them over from the studio to relearn their craft of filmmaking into a dimensional world. And what he always told them was, each guest is a camera. So whatever you create, the texture, the sights, the sounds, the close-ups, they have to happen all around you. I got to learn from the people that invented the industry. They took me under their wing and they taught me the ropes, and I was able to use my art background and my writing background to become show writer and a director. I've been doing it for 33 years, and I tell you, every single day when I come to work at Imagineering, I still can't believe it after all these years. It's amazing.
Wow. Congratulations, Kevin. That's really neat. Well, our first presenter today is I always pick on Josh this way. Josh Gordon from the technical staff of our R&D group at Imagineering. Josh is responsible for working across creative and technical teams at Imagineering to design, prototype, and implement cutting-edge technologies and exciting new guest experiences for the Disney parks and resorts worldwide. Recent projects including the award-winning Kim Possible World Showcase Adventure for Epcot and the Science of Disney Imagineering live show, which was debuted at the first annual World Science Festival in New York. Josh graduated with honors from the University of Pennsylvania with a BA in Cinema Studies and minors from both the School of Engineering and Applied Sciences and Computer Science, and from the School of Design and Fine Arts. Please welcome a storyteller who really knows how to integrate and use technology in Disney shows, Josh Gordon.
Hi, everybody. Hi, it's good to see you. Hello. So as the youngest one on the panel, I get kind of the dubious honor of going first. So here we go. And thank you. I'm glad that you showed that video because now I really want to do a good job. Before I was on the fence. So I'm really excited to be here with all of you today. What I was going to do is just briefly tell you a little bit about how I got to Imagineering, and then tell you a little bit about the work that we do at Imagineering Research and Development. And and then hopefully we'll have plenty of time because we're really excited to answer all of your questions. So let's get right into it. So briefly, my path to WDI, which is different for everyone. I grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Any Western Pennsylvania? Yeah, Pittsburgh. All right. And at the time, I was really interested in film and TV. I loved film and TV, and I got to intern at the local TV station in Pittsburgh, which was a lot of fun, and I really loved making movies, and that was really great. And so then I started doing design work and graphic design, and that was really great, and okay, that's really cool, I like fine arts, and then, hey, you know, there's these things, there's these computers, and you can make stuff on computers, and that's really cool, and I don't know if anybody used like HyperCard and all that fun stuff. Yeah, so it was about making cool stuff and that looked good and that worked on technology, and it came time to go to school, and everyone said, well, what are you going to do? Which one are you going to pick? You don't get to do all of them. You can't do everything that you like. You have to pick one thing, and that's the thing you do. And I tried that for a little while, but it was really hard. And so eventually what I wound up doing is just saying, can I do all of these things? And so, as Marty mentioned, I wound up getting degrees with cinema studies and fine arts and computer science. So then I went to go get a job, and I realized that people don't just pay you to do whatever you want all day. They kind of want you to be specific. So I spent some time working in TV and film. When that was cool, I worked on some really bad reality TV shows later. I worked as a graphic designer. I even worked as a programmer for a bioinformatics firm, which was super exciting. But I wanted to find a job where I could do everything. And I actually read about Imagineering in a magazine article around the time that California Adventure was opening. And I didn't have any in or anything. I kind of just called the switchboard and talked my way into talking to somebody who eventually got into the internship program, which is an amazing program, and due in large part, by the way, to people like Marty Sklar, who have been so enormously beneficial for getting new Imagineers through things like the Imaginations program and through mentoring programs. So Marty has been a huge friend to all young Imagineers starting at WDI. And so eventually, I was interviewing for these internships, and it turned out that there was a group at Imagineering, this group I'd never heard of, I didn't know it existed, called Research and Development. And they were doing a project with the studio looking at the impact of moving from film production to digital cinema production. And so they needed somebody with like a film and TV background who kind of knew how films got made, but had a computer science background too, so they could talk about metadata and post-production workflows. And oh, if they could design some PowerPoint presentations and make them look pretty, that would be really good. And I was like, hello. This guy. So sure enough, that brought me to, I put back button. The technology guy can't hit the green button. And that took me to Walt Disney Imagineering R&D, which is where I am today. I've been there about 7 years. Yeah, looks about right. All right. So, Imagineering.